Hey, what's up everyone? Danny and Alex. In this tutorial, let's look at some basic beginner-friendly sweeps from the closed guard position. So check it out. All right, first things first, I'm going to establish some grips here. So I like to always be tugging on the collar. This is something I like to do a lot. So sometimes you pull the guard and you have this type of collar grip, all right? But for attacks such as chokes, submissions, and sweeps, a lot of times I like to make sure I have the cross collar control right here. And now I'll also be controlling the sleeve right here. Sometimes you also grab right behind the elbow as such, all right? Whichever you prefer, but the idea is control on the same side, all right? So now from this position, a lot of times my opponent's going to be posting his left leg up like this, all right, to try to position himself to apply more pressure because maybe he has a control here on the chest. He's trying to resist that control here where I'm trying to break his posture. And now the more weight that's transferred here, that's good for you because now I'll open my guard and swivel my hips around the weight of the posted leg. Look, I'll uncross here and look, I'll use my legs and swivel myself to the side so I can insert my knee right across his stomach. All right, I don't let go of the grips, and now it's very easy. What you need to do is pull the opponent towards you, but also scissor your legs, hence the name scissor sweep. So as I pull him up, I go 1, 2, and now from here, easily control the mount position. You can place your hands on the mat, control this, or hold the neck and get tighter. All right, so once again, I'm controlling here. Now my opponent's gonna post on his lap. Notice how I raise my hips off the mat. All right, my hips aren't touching the mat, so that way there, he has to support my body weight. So as I uncross, I raise off the mat and swivel my hips here to the side. Now it's important to have a good angle. If Alex just removes his body weight here, I have a nice 90-degree angle here on my leg. You don't want to be all bunched up where you swivel and you have this type of angle here. This is no good for you, all right? So you want to have a nice strong frame like a knee shield here. So now he's not passing your guard. He's getting pushed with your shin, but also pulled with your grips, which makes it easy to transfer his weight and pull yourself right into the mount position from here. Now, the next one we're going to look at is sometimes the opponent's going to stand up, right? So we're talking beginner level sweeps simply because a lot of times if you try the more exotic type of guards and sweeps that they have, the opponent that's maybe starting out in Jiu-Jitsu won't be positioning himself in the correct manner for you to isolate those sweeps, for example. So the best thing to do is always look at how do beginners that just start into Jiu-Jitsu position themselves when they either kneel into your closed guard, what type of reaction you're going to try to do to pass your guard, and also if they decide to stand up. I'll give you one example. Now I tried to stand up, so I'm just posting onto him and I just stand up as such, right? This is very common. They stand up into a squatting position, feet are parallel, and this is the basic 101 sweep to attack every time they do so. Look, he's going to uncross the guard, obviously follow this, but also use his shins and frame here. This is great because now you're going to be able to push with your knees as he traps my ankles, right? So now he's isolating my feet, so I can't escape from this position now anymore, but I don't have the balance rocking back. Because my feet are parallel and not staggered, now I have no balance backwards, so now he's going to bump his hips, boom, and now I fell down. Now, you haven't completed your position here. You swept the opponent, but look, when you fall down, both legs are going to be on top, all right? So now you got to get the mount position. So the best way to do this is not to try to climb on top. That's going to be very challenging to do. You always want to pick a side, so you want to go on an angle here. So notice how he sits sideways, and he's almost going on a 45-degree. And now I can grab onto my collar, for example, here, and help himself get into the mount position and secure here. So once again, I decided to stand up, but I'm not doing a great job on how I decided to stand up inside his closed guard. So he's going to capitalize on this, uncross his legs, frame my hips, grab my ankles. Now sometimes if someone is very strong or even taller than you, you'll just continue the motion and use your feet as such. All right, this is also another viable option to sweep. Now as he pushes here, I fall back, but now he wants to make sure he brings his feet over my hips. And now once again, he's going to choose a side, drives my hips to the mat on this side. Look, it's almost like a hip bump sweep. He drives the hips over the legs. That way there, I can't recover and push him off, get back into the initial position. He wants to grab the collar from here, and now he tugs and gets them out. Now we're looking back at the initial sweep we did, like the scissor sweep. The opponent posts and stays only one knee onto the mat, okay? Now, you're trying to swivel, but as you do so and you start to turn, look, as you got to here, sometimes they're going to swim their hand inside your lap And if you don't react to this, look, they're just gonna bring this onto the shoulder, grab your collar, and now use a stack pass to get past your legs, all right? So once you get here, you gotta be aware of all the positions and the counters your opponent's gonna try to do. One of those is this one as such. He's gonna swim his hand underneath and try to bring your lap on his shoulder. So to prevent this, once you are here, as he brings this here, you wanna keep this leg nice and heavy, and I like to use the knee against his chest. So it's almost like I'm kneeing him into the stomach. So as I pull here, I feel the hands coming inside here, and now I push my knee and also pull onto his collar. So look, it makes it hard and very heavy on my leg, so that way that he can't bring this onto his shoulder to start initial stack passing. All right, now I use this foot as a hook. Watch how my toes are gonna swim around, and I'm gonna cup right underneath his knee. Okay, and now as I push and tug, same thing happens now. I land into the mount position. This time as I stabilize, I have one arm underneath my lap, and this sets me up to start attacking some submissions. Now one more option from here. We're going for the same type of sweep. Maybe he posted his leg out. All right, now I uncross, I swivel, whether or not he brought his arm underneath your lap, okay? This time here, we're talking about someone who doesn't want to be swept in this direction. He knows the game a little bit more, and look, very heavy, and he might start to point his knee on an angle a little bit here to try to resist, all right? He won't be able to stand up because you're unbalancing him all the time. But he'll be able to point his knee a little bit on an angle here to try to resist. So if you try to just sweep this knee here, it becomes very heavy to sweep. So what I recommend you do from here is look, you stretch your body up and look, push kick his lap, boom, to collapse that base. And once again, you end up in the same mount position. All right, we'll start here now. The next one, once again, I stood up without a base. All right, so I just stand up here with my feet parallel. Now, Alex is gonna uncross the legs, but look, he's gonna bring his feet in front of my lap. All right, this is called the open guard position. And now from here, establish some grips, either on the sleeve, on the collar, whichever, right? The important thing is he wants to make sure that he has 2 feet connected to the hip, all right? So although I'm able to use this arm here, what's gonna happen now is gonna give me a push, unbalance me in this direction, and as he pulls me back, lands into the mount. So once again, as I stood up here, I didn't do a good job of controlling and positioning my feet, so now I'm parallel. He's gonna establish the grips. I don't have good balance, and I might be leaning towards him. So if I start to lean towards him, instead of giving me a push, he's just gonna follow through. As I'm going this direction, he's gonna continue the energy and just roll me over his shoulders right into the mount position. All right, guys, so there you have it. Some basic sweeps from close guard. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you
in the next video.
Take care.